Sometimes in gyms you see like these vibration plates and people see that as a workout. Try riding a bike on one.
For you guys it's like special, but you're maybe too much used to it. For us it's normal, but maybe it's not normal.
You love it or you hate it?
I'm a cobble guy, let's say.
I don't say I like to go over cobblestones because...
Your bike goes from left to right, up and down.
You are 100% focused or you are out.
Never give up. Fight, fight, fight.
We are on the rain, on the dust, on the mud and on the cobblestones.
This year I had the opportunity to ride some of the bigger classics for the first time, and it's just super cool to ride in between these walls of fans. As a kid you watched it on television. I stood already in between those fans and now I can ride through it. It's just a dream come true.
I'm Belgian, I grew up there and I live like in the center a little bit, close to Kuurne, close to Harelbeke, close to the center of the races. And you know, the season finished and already before Christmas, New Year, the people start to talk about it. Wherever you go, when you go shopping or whatever, you see, oh, as soon as the races are again coming, and they just adore it.
The spring classics are quite important for the riders because probably is the first part of the season when everybody is looking for that races. There is a huge excitement, and on the other hand, it's also the momentum where there is more stress, more tactic, and more spectacular races during the year.
Can you describe what makes the Cobbled Spring Classics so tough?
The stress around it. Just everyone knows the important points. They've been there for a long time. They've been ridden often the races, so the key points are usually the same and everyone knows them. It's pretty tough also just to be present and use your energy in the right moment.
Yeah, you have to produce raw power. It's like in a lot of aspects of cycling, it's about watts per kilogram, but on the cobbles that doesn't matter so much. You just have to produce the big power. I live in the Holy area. I know every cobble section. My favorite races are, if I have to choose one, I would say Paris-Roubaix.
Roubaix is a classic, long distance of course, 260k more or less, with over 50 kilometers of cobblestones in between 20 and 30 sections. First participation is important. To race, it's about position. It's like a mini classics. You have to fight all the time to start cobble sections in a good position and try to stay there. Also back in the times, of course, we had the top riders, the favorites, but it looks like the peloton is getting stronger and stronger. So especially young riders, they are immediately there, and you can see also the bikes are much better now. Back in the times, I think my bike the weight was like 9 kilograms or 10 kilograms maybe, I don't know.
To design one aero bicycle for riders that focus in the cobblestones is really challenging. Our first generation of the Orca Aero was absolutely focused on the sprinters and the really aerodynamic and super stiff bicycles. But step by step, we realized that that bicycle also need to perform on the cobblestones, need to have good compromise in terms of compliance and handling, because otherwise it would be something unrideable on the cobblestones.
Really high-end races such as Paris-Roubaix, Tour of Flanders, they are going faster and faster year by year. Last year we had the record of Paris-Roubaix, of the highest speed that we have achieved in the history. It is really demanding to develop an aero bike that also needs to be compatible with all the cobblestone specs that we have to fulfill, such as wider tires, comfort in the cobblestones, and so on. It is not only a flat aero bike that we used to design in the past. Now there are more things that have to go into the development of the bike.
The speed is super high. Even if you have some walls, they are short, and the most of the time you are riding alone. On that conditions, aerodynamic is key. It's the only way to make you faster is to have a super aero bicycle, not something that rule all the surfaces or all the conditions, or a lightweight bicycle. Probably in that races is where the weight has less impact. It's almost flat, it's super rolling, the climbing speed is super high on the walls, and the most of the time you are in a small group or trying to catch up the next group. So aerodynamics is key. It's out of question that the Orca Aero is the best choice.
The Aero bike it just feels like fast. I have the race feeling when I ride on it. For those classics, the hills are important, but I think even more the aerodynamics make the difference with that bike. You feel it's very fast and also really comfortable to ride on it, and a lot of those races also demand a sprint at the end, so there you can also make the difference with the fast bike.
If we go too stiff on the vertical stiffness, this is a bicycle that is going to be impossible to ride on the cobblestones when we are jumping on the cobblestones. And what you really need is to flow on the cobblestones, and also providing to that bicycle a larger tire clearance to allow the riders to use up to 32 section tires that really change the behavior of the bicycle. It's not the same thing to ride these 26 or 28 tires on a Tour de France sprint stage. It looks like you have a completely two different bicycles. So this is what we were looking for to provide to the riders.
Aerodynamics is really moving up in the importance. The margins get smaller and smaller because everyone knows how to proper fuel, how to stay hydrated, to position with the radios, other programs we use, like pacing plans, like gathering points during the race. Everyone does it.
The recognizing you have after you win Roubaix, it was different, of course. I was the Paris-Roubaix winner. Before that, I was okay, professional rider, doing my best and being a good domestic. But from that day on, wow, he won Roubaix, wow.
I think for a rider like me, that's the highest goal, or it would change my career, but also my life, I think. That's what we ride for every day on our bikes, just with that dream in mind.
What usually happens to the bike after winning Paris-Roubaix?
It doesn't get washed, it gets put in a case and nobody gets to touch it. I would order the case right now.